Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed yesterday because it was a beautiful day. This morning is a little bit cold and rainy outside, but we're going to start our day talking about the zoo. And Mrs. Marvel is really disappointed because this is the time of the year when we were going to take a zoo trip and go and see these animals and then have a picnic and some fun things, and we're not able to do that right now. But Mrs. Virgil told me that in July that we would be able to plan a trip together. So I'll talk to all the mommies and daddies and we'll see if we can plan something for in the summertime when the zoo is open and we're able to do that. And that would be a fun thing for you to be able to see each other and say goodbye. Well, today we're going to talk about zoos and we're going to talk about a couple of animals. Does anyone know what this is? An elephant. And here is a gorilla. Well, who picked out those names? God made the elephant and the gorilla, but who picked out their name? Do you know what? You could maybe ask Mommy who picked out your name. Maybe Mommy and Daddy named you after a grandma or a grandpa or somebody they knew or a name they read in the Bible. Well, today we're going to review a story we've already had, but we're going to find out and see if we remember who picked out the names for the animals. Remember our days of creation? Day 1. When there was no world, there was nothing, and God made the world. Do you remember what day God made the animals and man? On day 6. Well, Adam loved his new home, and his job was to name all of the animals. Can you imagine? It takes mommies and daddies a long time to choose a name for their new baby. Well, can you imagine having to name all the animals in the whole world? That took Adam a long time, and he picked lots and lots of names. His job was to name all the animals, and he cared for the garden. Adam loved all the animals, but he could not find a friend that was just right for him. So God created a woman. Do you remember his special helper, his wife? Adam named her Eve. She was just right for Adam. Adam and Eve loved each other and they took care of God's garden and they took care of God's animals. So who was it that created or made the animals? It was God. But who picked their names? Adam picked their names. And we're so thankful that God made animals. I have a doggie, and I picked her name is Annie. And I chose that name because my husband gave her to me as a little puppy on our anniversary. So I took the first few letters of anniversary, A-N-N, and I named her Annie because she was my anniversary present. So maybe you picked a name for one of your pets, or Hazel has a new pony. So names are important, and we need to remember Adam named the animals. Let's go ahead and pray so we can get started learning about these zoo animals. Dear Jesus, thank you for our day. Thank you for this beautiful world that you created. Thank you for all the animals that you made and that we can go to zoos and see animals that we don't have in our homes. And thank you even for our animals that are our pets, like our dogs and our cats and hamsters and bunnies and lots of different things, puppies. I just thank you for all the things you've done, and I pray you'd continue to keep us all healthy. I thank you that all the boys and girls are well and their families. Help us to finish the year strong and to do our best. Thank you for the opportunity, Lord, to be the teacher for all of these precious little children. Help us as we learn about zoo animals today. Amen. Okay, first thing, let's look at our calendar and see what day it is. And Mrs. Marvel will try to count and stop on the right day today. So get your pointer or your finger and let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Today is number 8. And you should find a blue crayon or a blue marker, and we're going to color number 8 today. And look, let's count how many more days we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you believe it? We only have 4 more days of school. And then it will be your summer vacation. And then you're going to be in kindergarten. I'm so proud of you because you've all worked so hard this year. Well, today is number 8. Let's see the name of our day. Can you help me find it? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to step back here. And, we're going to take this off because that was our old letter. And let's see if we can find Friday. Are you ready? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's the last day of our school week, and it is still the month of May 2020. And this has really been a strange year so far with everybody having to learn from their homes. But we're hoping that things start getting better so that you can go back to school next year. Well, today, it's not real sunny right now. It's a little bit rainy this morning. A little bit colder. So if we were going to get dressed and go outside today, we might need a raincoat and some rain boots and probably an umbrella. So today is kind of a rainy day. Maybe you'll find something you can play with inside today. Well, we are going to talk about the zoo animals. And I'm going to tell you a story about Jake. Jake and Marcus and their school friends. Because it's almost the end of the year for Jake's preschool class. And they're going on a field trip to the zoo, just like we were going to. Well, Jake woke up in the morning and he was so excited. He said, "Oh, Mommy, is today the day of our trip?" Mrs. Martin said, "Yes, it is, Jake, and I'm going with you." Jake was so excited. He said, "Can we take Max?" "No," said Mom. "The zoo won't let doggies come in because they might scare the animals." "Oh, yeah," said Jake. "I guess you're right. But I'm still excited about going to the zoo." Well, Mrs. Martin got to school, and their teacher, Mrs. Appletree, she gave all the kids a name tag so they couldn't get lost and they would make sure everybody knew who they were. And she told Mrs. Martin that she was going to be the leader for Jake and for Marcus. Jake was so excited. His best friend Marcus was going to get to go with them and walk around the zoo. Now, Keisha and Caroline, they were going to go with Keisha's mommy and walk around the zoo. Mrs. Appletree had them all bring their lunches because they were going to eat a picnic lunch and then look at some more animals in the afternoon. So they got to school and Mrs. Martin told the boys, "Make sure you go to the bathroom because we're going to have a long ride to the zoo." So the boys got all ready and they got to ride on a bus. Oh, it was so much fun. They got on the bus and they sat down and the bus driver said, "You need to stay in your seat, but you can talk and you can sing songs, but I need you to stay in your seat." So they rode on the bus The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. They sang songs on the bus, and pretty soon they got to the zoo. Well, their teacher gave them a paper that told about the zoo. And it said that the whole class was going to meet together at 10 o'clock. Let's see, what would 10 o'clock look like? Well, here's a 10, a 1, and a 0. And if you put these two little dots and two more zeros, that says 10 o'clock. She said they were all going to meet at 10 o'clock at the elephant house. Well, first the boys started walking through the zoo and they saw a big bird with a big fancy tail. Does anybody know what that is? It is, can you tell me? Shout it to your mommies and daddies. It's a peacock. It had big blue feathers on it. Ooh, the boys thought it was so beautiful. Well, they kept walking along and they could see, they went past a little barn that looked like it had farm animals. And they even got to get some grain and some oats and feed the cows and the little goats. They were having so much fun. Well, Mrs. Martin looked at her watch and said, uh-oh, we need to keep moving. It's almost 10 o'clock and we need to get to the elephant house. So they kept walking along and pretty soon they were standing outside a big fence. But they could see the door opened to the elephant house and out walked a great big gray elephant, and he got really close to Jake and Marcus. They looked up and Jake said, I didn't know an elephant was so big. Well, they showed him how they eat. The zoo director who took care of the elephants, he came over and he had a handful of hay. He handed it to the elephant. And guess what? He didn't pick it up with his big old feet. He picked it up with his trunk. He used the end of his trunk like a hand and grabbed the hay. And he went, and he put it in his mouth. Then he took his trunk again and he stuck it down inside a barrel full of water. And he drank a little bit and then he held his trunk up like this and he sprayed the boys and girls. Jake and Marcus squealed when they got sprayed with water, but it felt kind of good because it was a hot day. Well, they watched as another elephant came out and they started doing some tricks. They were holding on to each other by their trunk and their tail, and they were flapping their big ears. Well, the zookeeper said that their big ears, when they flap, help them to stay cool. And they spray the water in the air to help them cool off when it's hot. They learned lots of fun things about the elephants. Well, Mrs. Appletree said, we are going to meet back at the table at 12 o'clock. We'll meet in the picnic area. Here is 12 o'clock. Well, they were so excited. They were able to walk around and see some more animals while they were waiting for their lunch. They started to walk closer to an exhibit and they heard a loud noise. It was going, what is that? They said. As they went around the corner, they saw a great big monkey house. There were little monkeys hanging from the trees, and they were squealing. They were hanging by their tails and swinging. They were so fun to watch. Well, they walked. Right next door was another little house. And it had a great big giant monkey. Marcus said, "Oh, that's the biggest monkey I ever saw." Well, Mrs. Martin told them that was a gorilla. And the gorilla was the biggest monkey of all. The gorilla marched right up to the window and looked at Marcus and Jake. Pretty soon another gorilla came out, and it was a mommy and had a baby. And they laughed because the baby grabbed a leaf and the mommy took the leaf away and broke it up in little pieces and gave it back to the baby. Do you know what? Sometimes mommies have to take things away from littler children and babies and make it smaller or something that's not safe for them. Well, this mommy acted just like your mommy. She was watching out for her baby. And she took that big leaf away so the baby wouldn't choke and broke it up in little pieces. Jake said, "Mom, look, that gorilla is a really good mom." Pretty soon, Mrs. Martin looked at her watch and said, "Oh, it's almost 12 o'clock. It's almost time for lunch." So they walked back to the picnic area so they could get their lunch boxes. Whew. Jake and Marcus were ready for a break. Their legs were tired and they were hungry and thirsty. Well, they sat down at the picnic table and ate their lunch. After their lunch, they were going to get to go and visit some more zoo animals, and we're going to learn about some more zoo animals on Monday. Right now, I would like you, and I think some of you might have already done this, but I want you to get your monkey paper. Can you find your monkey paper? I'm going to scoot our zoo picture over a little bit here. Those are the different monkeys, and the zookeeper had told them that monkeys like to eat bananas and vegetables and even some coconut. They would break up the pieces and they would chomp on that. Well, we're going to look and see which monkey likes to eat what kind of food. So can you get your pencil or a crayon? And first, let's count the bananas together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bananas. Which monkey would eat 12 bananas? Would it be the gorilla, the little spider monkey, or a chimpanzee? Which number has a 12 by it? You're right, it's the spider monkey. He would eat bananas. How about the lettuce? Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What number did we say a 10 looks like? A 1 and a 0. The gorilla's going to eat the lettuce. And who's going to eat the coconut? Let's count them and find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The chimpanzee's going to eat some coconuts. So you can count and feed those monkeys. Now we are going to look at our clock again. You guys did a great job. I'm going to put Toby Clock up there and you can get your little clock. Because do you remember? Mrs. Appletree told them that they needed to be at the elephant house at what time? Do you remember? 10 o'clock. Can you make your Toby clock say 10 o'clock? The big hand is pointing up already for you. So what number is the little hand going to point for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 o'clock was when they were going to meet at the elephant house. time were they going to have lunch and meet for their lunch? 12 o'clock. Sometimes we call that noon. Can you make your clock say 12 o'clock? I'm going to go right straight. So both hands, we'll make this one say it. Both hands are going to be straight up. 12 o'clock. Now, some of you have done this paper. We've gotten all mixed up this week. But if you haven't, see if Mommy can help you find. You have one more clock paper. One more clock paper to do. And some of you, I think I saw, might have already done this one too. But that's okay. I want you to draw the hand, point to what number it tells you what time it is. This has the words on it. 10 o'clock. That was the time that they were going to meet at the elephant house. Good. See if you can make that clock say 10 o'clock. We're going to make a little arm. Point to the 10. Good job. And, oh, at 3 o'clock, they were going to get back on the bus. Can you make this clock say 3 o'clock? 1, 2, 3. So we're going to draw a little hand pointing to the 3. Good job. And 7 o'clock, that's when it was time for Jake to get his bath and start getting ready for bed. 7 o'clock, where's the 7? I'm going to point right down there. 1 o'clock, where would that be? Yep, point to the 1. So see if you can do that. And maybe Mommy can even keep helping you practice by telling you different times, and you can find it on your clock for her. Or a big brother or sister could do that with you. Well, we're also going to learn a new letter today. And I know these are lots of papers, and we just want to get through the alphabet before the end of the year. Let's first look and see. We did X. Let's see what comes after X. Can you help me? Let's see. I know the light was shining on here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Y comes next. That's a question lots of children ask. Why? Well, that's also the name of a letter. And look, we only have one more letter. Y says yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Kind of like, can you say yuck? Like something you don't like. Yuck. Well, Y says yuh, like a yo-yo. Y says yuck. Can you say that with me? Yuck, yuck, yuck. Y says yuck, like a yo-yo. We're going to put our Y up here. And here is a yo-yo. And this is yogurt. Do any of you like yogurt? Mrs. Marvel ate yogurt for breakfast today. So I'm going to have you do both of your papers. And you know what? I like to see them colored. But if your hands are getting tired and you don't want to color your paper, that's okay. But I really want you to still do your best on your letter Y's. Okay? Do you know what this little boy's doing? Do you know what we call that? A yawn. And a yo-yo. And some yarn. Molly told us on our Zoom this morning that her kitty likes to play with yarn and string. So I want you to do both of your Y papers, and this is Yon Yak. Yon the long-haired yak wears a wooden yoke. You see his yo-yo tricks and hear his funny jokes. Let's see if you can do some Y's for me. And this Y looks a little different than some that you might see in a book. This is called precursive. So it has kind of a curvy instead of coming to a point with a tail. It goes around kind of like the letter U. If we stopped it there, it would look like a U. So we're going to start at the top, make a U, but come down with a tail. Around and down with a monkey tail. Around and down with a monkey tail. And the little Y looks just like it. Around and down with a monkey tail, but it lives in the downstairs. It's a little bit smaller. So if you can do your Y papers, that would be great. And then in your zoo bag, your big Ziploc bag, there should be some paper plates. Should have 2 paper plates, some big eyes, some big wiggly eyes, and a piece of paper. Now, Mrs. Marvel's paper is blue. I think yours is a little bit more gray. But first, what color is an elephant? Is an elephant purple or green or rainbow color? No, it is gray. So can you find a gray crayon? If you don't have your gray crayon, you know what? You could just color kind of light with a black one. But I want you to color your plates gray. Mrs. Marvel already colored that one. And I'm going to color this one really quick here. Or if you have a gray marker. But we're just going to color the whole plate gray. Then we're going to cut this plate in half. And you know what Mommy could do for you? She can take a marker and draw a line down the middle of your plate. Like this. So you know where the middle is. Then you're going to take your scissors that were in your box. See if you can cut on that line. See if we can cut the plate so we have 2 sides. Remember, this was a circle. Now we have 2. We're going to make an elephant. So we're going to get our glue, or you could use a stapler. And we're going to put glue on the plate. And we're going to stick it. I'll hold it up here and show you. We're going to stick it on there so it looks like it has big floppy ears like an elephant. And then I'm going to put my elephant eyes on here. And you can use white glue, or if you have a glue stick, you should have big wiggly eyes in your bag that says Zoo Unit. Then we're going to take our piece of paper, because what does the elephant have in front? A big long trunk. And we're going to fold it back and forth, back and forth. And Mommy might need to help you with that, but it kind of looks like a squiggly trunk. And we're going to glue it on our elephant. So it looks like this. Can you make an elephant? But that's what Jake and Marcus liked seeing the best at the zoo. Well, next time we're going to learn about some more zoo animals that Marcus and Jake got to go see. So you guys, I miss you. I love you. I loved seeing some of you in our Zoom. And we are going to try, Mom and Dad, to Zoom our graduation. So what that means is we're going to have to all get on at 6:30 on Tuesday the 18th or the 19th. Let me get our calendar here, because this will be our last day of school. But on the 19th, the day after, at 6:30, if Mommy gets you on Zoom, we're going to all get on at the same time. And Mrs. Marvel's going to be at the school with Mrs. Marshall. And we're going to show you one at a time. And you get to answer what you liked best about pre-K. And then, and what you want to be when you grow up. And we're going to show a little video, and then Mrs. Marvel's going to say your name, and Mommy and Daddy can hand you your graduation hat. You can put that on, and they can hand you your diploma when I call your name. And you know what? Your grandmas and grandpas and your family and friends can all be added to our Zoom so they can watch you. And we hope that that will be it's not as fun as being there in real person and doing fun things, but we'll still have a good time, and you can see each other in your cap and with your diploma. So I'll see you on Monday. I love you guys. Bye-bye.